Well, after 4 days of stunning testimony in the El Chapo trial, the prosecution's star witness, Jesus Zambada, is now being cross-examined by the defense. Yesterday, Zambada continued to give his very detailed account of working for Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, including several murders he allegedly committed.
Zambada testified Guzman killed rivals, including one man who refused to shake his hand. That was it. The defense's cross-examination is expected to wrap up today, and this will be the final day of the trial for the rest of the week. So joining us now is CBS News legal analyst Rikki Klieman. So Rikki, last time you were here, we were talking about how challenging it might be to prove that El Chapo was the head of this criminal enterprise. Did Zambada do anything to sort of like chip away at that?
Well, I think that what Zambada is there to do is to say that this is the man, El Chapo is the man in charge, even if he did have a partnership with Zambada's own brother, who is known as El Mayo. So we have El Chapo and we have El Mayo.
And El Mayo is still part of, allegedly,
right now,
he's still part of the cartel.
Allegedly, he's running the cartel. So the question really is, was El Chapo the one in charge or was El Mayo the one in charge? And one of the things that the judge was concerned about in this case was that this was a case about drugs, corruption, and murder as a third part of it. And he didn't want the case to become a case about murder, corruption, and drugs. Well, yesterday and a little bit before that we were really dealing with the issue of murder. And what Jesus Zambada, the witness, tried to do, and I think probably quite successfully, was to say that El Chapo, Mr. Guzman, would order murders, and that was really significant in terms of whether or not he was in charge. In addition, there's the $300,000 a month issue of bribery to government officials. Now, everything the defense wants to do in its cross, and we'll see more what they do today, is to say, look, these orders were not being carried out by El Chapo. They really were being carried out by El Mayo. So that's a tough row to hoe, but at the same time, who would know better than Jesus Zambada, the brother of El Mayo?
The accountant, right?
The accountant and the logistical guy. It's very significant. I mentioned to you when I was here last time that it's like watching an episode of Narcos. And since I'm in the middle of Narcos season 4, what's intriguing about that is that the original operation, long before El Chapo was merely a little driver at this time, is that you see how the organization of the Sinaloa cartel was built. And it really is a major country's enterprise, down to the distribution.
So this gentleman is, the prosecution says, is basically the foundation of their case. So on cross-examination, upon cross-examination, what is the defense trying to do, and what have they done?
Well, I think what the defense has started to do and what they are attempting to do is to show all of the blame of who's in charge and who's calling the shots goes to El Mayo, goes to Jesus Zambada's brother. And that although El Chapo was involved, that he was not the leader of the pack. And they are not really trying to show with this witness that he is lying 100%. They want him to be telling the truth about many of the events, because you can't deny that the Sinaloa cartel is a cartel. What you can deny is what did El Chapo do. And if you press hard enough, and the defense did this well yesterday, they looked at prior deposition testimony that was given by this witness when he was cooperating, and they really tore him apart on the issue of when he told one story and when he told another story, which brings you to your guest yesterday, who was also sharing my opinion, I share his opinion, that when you have these government witnesses who become there to, as we used to say as defense lawyers, dance to the prosecutor's tune, that what they want to do is please the prosecution. So their memory just happens to change over time.
I love that. So there's art and science, right, to performing in the courtroom. We know that there's a break coming up, so the jury is going to be sitting with some information. What will the prosecution and the defense be doing today in the hopes that they will be mulling over whatever they heard last?
Well, as we often say, timing is everything in life. So both of these lawyers, or both sides, really want to have the last word. If the defense ends its cross too soon, you go back to redirect examination. And that's dangerous for the defense. The defense wants to sow doubt. And redirect is every prosecutor's, well, maybe not every, but most prosecutors' favorite thing, because you get to sum it all up, because you get to use what happened on cross-examination and bring it over to your side. So whoever gets the last word gets to have these jurors think about that for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all the way back to Monday.
So interesting.
It is so interesting.
Rikki, we're going to be talking about this until verdict is reached. Thank you very much for stopping by.